Good morning, students. This is your teacher Neelam Ehlawat, and today we'll start with the new topic, that is sex determination. So keep your books, notebooks, pen, pencil ready so that we can start easily. Shall we start, students? Okay, let's start. Now see, sex determination. Now what does this word sex determination means? We know sex. What is sex? Sex basically deals with the gender, that is the male and female. Okay. So we'll talk about, see, we know that there are two types of sex chromosomes. Sex determination basically means determining the sex of the child. What determines the sex of the child? So we'll talk about. Now, to understand this mechanism, we need to understand certain terms. The very first is the sex chromosomes. Now see, in case of human beings, if we take the example, the male has sex chromosome XY and the female has sex chromosomes XX. Okay. Now, we can divide the chromosomes into two basic types, autosomes and sex chromosomes, or sometimes a word allosomes is also used instead of sex chromosomes. So let's differentiate between these. Autosomes, they do not participate in the process of sex determination. Okay, they do not participate in the process of sex determination, or they have nothing to do with the sex determination or the sex of the child. Sex chromosomes or the allosomes, they are basically the chromosomes that will determine the sex of the child. Okay. Now basically this sex chromosome, this word, there was a scientist named Hanking in 1891. He conducted a study on insects. उन्होंने अपनी जो study है वो insects में की थी, and he observed that in the nucleus of the insect है, insects के अंदर cell है, cell के अंदर जो nucleus है, उस nucleus में एक body मौजूद है. And this body he detected during spermatogenesis. And this body he named X body. Now during the process of spermatogenesis, when there is division of cells, when there is division of, you can say, when there is formation of sperms, so one sperm has this X body, while in other it is absent. So there are two types of, you can say, the sperms which are produced in case of insects. 50% of them have the X body and 50% of them do not have the X body. Now this X body, which was named by Hanking, is now known as the X chromosome. What we call it today? It is now known as the X chromosome. Okay, dear students? So we basically talked about that there are two types of chromosome, or we can categorize the chromosomes into two types, that is autosome and the sex chromosomes. The sex chromosomes, they help in determining the sex of the child. Okay. Now initially this X body was discovered by Hanking, and later on this was named as X chromosome, and we know it by this name today. Now mechanism of sex determination. अब दो तरीके हैं इस mechanism को study करने के, right? I've made the topic very easy for you so that you can easily understand. One method is called male heterogamety and second method is called female heterogamety. Heterogamety means different gametes. Hetero means different and gamety means gametes. So male heterogamety means the male will produce two different types of gametes. Okay. Female will produce same type of gametes, means it will only produce one type of gamete, and male will produce two different types of gametes. Now coming to female heterogamety. Now here in this case, female will produce two different types of gametes. Right? Here the female will produce two different types of gametes. तो हम mechanism को दो तरीके से divide कर सकते हैं. One is male heterogamety and second is female heterogamety. Now जो female heterogamety की है, इसको we'll talk in the next slide. First let's talk about the male heterogamety. Male heterogamety means two types of gametes will be made in males. Now first example is human beings. Human beings में इस mechanism को कहते हैं XXXY mechanism. This is called XX and XY mechanism. Female has XX while male has XY. Okay. So female will produce same types of gametes. That is XX. So two gametes will be formed and each one will have the X chromosome. Right? Female gametes को हम किस नाम से बुलाते हैं? Egg or the ovum. And male gametes, there are two different types of male gametes. So male gametes are heterogametes and these male gametes, they are called sperms. Okay. Now let's come to the generation. अब देखिए हम Punnett square की help से individuals को designate करेंगे. We'll see the combination of these sperms in the egg. So these are the male gametes or you can say sperms and these are the female gametes or the egg. तो अगर हम देखते हैं तो we'll find that there are two males and there are two females. जब हम इसको sum up करते हैं, इसको combine करते हैं तो we observe that there are two males and two females. Thus we can say there are 50% chances of males and 50% chances of female. So the ratio will always be 1:1. Okay, the probability will always be 50%. Now if we look at this flow chart, we can easily say that it is the males who are responsible for the sex of the child. देखिए मेल है जो दो तरीके के gametes बनाते हैं. Some sperms have X chromosome and some sperms have Y chromosome. If the egg is fertilized by the sperm having the X chromosome, so it is the female child which is born. Okay, or you can say sex of the child will be female. And if it is the sperm having Y chromosome fertilizes the egg, then the sex of the child will be male. So in case of human beings, the sex depends upon the sperms or the genetic constitution of the sperms. It does not depend upon the females. So it is highly, you can say, in our society, the females are being blamed for giving birth to a number of girl child. So it is wrong. It is the male who should be blamed for. Okay. The second example of male heterogamety is XXX0 type. First was XXXY type. Second is XXX0 type. Now this is commonly seen in grasshopper and cockroaches. Now इस केस में जैसा कि आप आसानी से देख सकते हैं Y chromosome absent है. There is no Y chromosome here. Okay. The female is XX and the male is X0. So female will produce again the female gametes that will have only X chromosome. The male will again produce two types of gametes. One will have the X chromosome, one will not have the X chromosome. Okay. एक के अंदर X chromosome मौजूद होगा, एक के अंदर X chromosome मौजूद नहीं होगा. Now we'll again make a Punnett square and we'll say composition. Again we will observe females are 2, males are 2. So again 50%. The probability of getting the male child and female child is equal, that is 50%. So again, here in cockroaches and grasshoppers also, it is the sex of the child will depend upon the male gamete. Okay, so in case, we can sum up that in case of male heterogamety, the sex of the individual is dependent upon the male gamete. It is not dependent upon the female gamete. Okay, now coming to female heterogamety. अब हम female heterogamety को study करते हैं and we'll talk about its examples. Now coming to female heterogamety. Female heterogamety का मतलब क्या है? That female will produce two different types of gametes. कि यहाँ पर female जो है वो दो different तरीके के gametes बनाएगी. Male will have only the same type of gametes. Okay. So the first mechanism is ZW and ZZ type. First is ZW and ZZ type. इसमें parents होंगे, हमारी जो ZW है that will be the female and ZZ will be the male. So here in this case, female will produce two gametes. One will have the Z, another will have the W. So female produces two different types of gametes. But male will have only gametes that will have Z. Okay. Now again we'll make the Punnett square and we'll see again females are 2, males are 2, 50%. The ratio, the probability is again 50%. But the main difference is here, the female is responsible for the determination of sex. इस केस में sex of the individual is dependent upon the female. Okay, पहले examples में क्या था? Sex of the individual is dependent upon the male. But यहाँ पर in case of female heterogamety, sex of the child is dependent upon the female. Now second one. Second is Z0 and ZZ type. It is most commonly seen in case of pigeon and butterfly. इन दो में ये खास तौर से देखा जाता है. Female is X0, male is ZZ. Again, female will have two types of gametes, one which is having the Z and one which is having 0. Okay. Next, male will have the same type of gametes, both will have ZZ. We'll make the combination with the help of Punnett square. Female is 2, male is 2. Again, the probability is 50%. So all the four examples that we have discussed, whether they are of male heterogamety or whether they are of female heterogamety, we see everywhere the probability is 50%, isn't it? And the ratio is 1:1. The ratio of male to female is 1:1. But only difference is that in case of male heterogamety, the sperms, or you can say the male gamete, will determine the sex of the child. In case of female heterogamety, the sex will be determined by the female gametes. Okay, dear students? Now last mechanism, that is called haploid diploid mechanism. ये जनरली हम ऑब्जर्व करते हैं हनी बीज में. ओके, ये जनरली हम ऑब्जर्व करते हैं हनी बीज में. सो हनी बीज में क्या होता है? हनी बीज में बेसिकली दे हैव 32 क्रोमोसोम्स, यानी दे हैव 16 पेयर ऑफ क्रोमोसोम्स. हनी बीज में जो है देयर इज अ सोशल स्ट्रैटिफिकेशन, मतलब देयर आर डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ organisms. There is female which is called queen. Okay, second is called female worker and third is called male drone. So हम कह सकते हैं कि social stratification है, यहाँ पे अलग अलग तरीके के honey bees हैं. One is female queen, second is worker and third is drone. जो female queen है उसमें 32 chromosomes होते हैं, means it is diploid. The workers are also diploid. They also have 32 chromosomes. But it is male which is haploid. जो male है, drone है, वो haploid है. It only has 16 chromosomes. Okay? It only has 16 chromosomes. Right? So female, or you can say queen will form the egg. The queen will form the egg. Okay? Clear है? If this egg is fertilized, if this egg is fertilized. चलिए हम एक बार थोड़ा सा डिस्कस करते हैं कि एग की फॉर्मेशन कैसे हुई। अब हमने कहा कि जो क्वीन है दैट विल फॉर्म द एग, तो यहाँ पे मियोसिस होगा, मियोसिस प्रोसेस होगा और एग बनेगा। सो एग विल बी हेप्लॉइड। ओके, एग विल बी हेप्लॉइड। ओके, एग विल हैव ओनली n नंबर ऑफ क्रोमोसोम, क्योंकि क्वीन बना रही है एग, ठीक है, और उसमें कौन सा प्रोसेस हुआ है, मियोसिस। सो एग की फॉर्मेशन मियोसिस से होगी, राइट। इफ दिस एग इज फर्टिलाइज्ड, अगर ये एग फर्टिलाइज होता है तो इसे फर्टिलाइज कौन करेगा, मेल ड्रोन, क्योंकि वहां पर मेल गैमीट की फॉर्मेशन होगी और यहां पर प्रोसेस होगा माइटोसिस। कौन सा प्रोसेस होगा, माइटोसिस। तो फीमेल क्वीन एग बनाएगी विद द हेल्प ऑफ मियोसिस, तो क्रोमोसोम का नंबर हाफ हो जाएगा। ड्रोन जो है ये मेल गैमीट बनाएगा विद द हेल्प ऑफ माइटोसिस। ओके, एंड प्रोसेस का नाम होगा माइटोसिस। सो अगेन n नंबर ऑफ क्रोमोसोम्स, सो क्रोमोसोम नंबर सेम रहेगा, ठीक है। सो एग बनाया है क्वीन ने, मेल गैमीट बनाया है मेल ड्रोन ने, ओके, ड्रोन ने। सो अगर ये एग फर्टिलाइज हो जाता है, सो इट विल हैव द 32, ओके, द सेम नंबर ऑफ क्रोमोसोम डिप्लॉयड, दैट इज स्पर्म, क्रोमोसोम नंबर विल बी 32। लेकिन अगर मेल गैमीट फर्टिलाइज नहीं करता है फीमेल गैमीट को, तो फीमेल गैमीट विल बी अनफर्टिलाइज्ड। ओके, फीमेल गैमीट विल बी अनफर्टिलाइज्ड। क्लियर स्टूडेंट्स, फीमेल गैमीट विल बी अनफर्टिलाइज्ड। तो हमारा जो फीमेल गैमीट है वो अनफर्टिलाइज्ड रह जाएगा, जो एग है वो अनफर्टिलाइज्ड रह जाएगा। सो दैट विल रिजल्ट इन द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ मेल, that will result in the formation of male, and it will have 16 chromosomes only, so it will be haploid only, ठीक है। तो अब हमारे पास फीमेल हो गई, मेल हो गया, या फीमेल दोबारा से गैमीट्स बनाएगी और कौन सा प्रोसेस होगा, मियोसिस। मेल जो है गैमीट बनाएगा, कौन सा प्रोसेस होगा, मियोसिस। ओके, क्लियर। सो इन केस ऑफ हनी बी, this haploid diploid mechanism is working. Students, ये question बहुत specifically it is being asked in the board regarding the honeybees. What is the mechanism of sex determination in honeybees? Right? Clear है? तो यहाँ पर sex determination जो है it entirely depends on the number of chromosomes present. Honeybee के केस में it entirely depends on the number of chromosome. अगर नंबर ऑफ क्रोमोसोम 16 है तो मेल होगा, नंबर ऑफ क्रोमोसोम अगर 32 है तो फीमेल होगी। सो ये टोटली डिपेंड करता है कि उस ऑर्गेनिज्म के अंदर कितने क्रोमोसोम्स मौजूद हैं। ओके स्टूडेंट्स, ओके, सो लेट्स कम टू योर होमवर्क फॉर टुडे। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल यू विल मेक द नोट्स ऑफ द टॉपिक। Secondly, you will read the page numbers 86 and 87 and you will highlight, underline the very important points in the book. Okay. Then you will solve the question number 11 of NCERT. Okay. Yes. So I hope you will complete your work and you will send it to me. Okay. And the last point of advice. Focus on distance, focus on social distance, keep yourself safe, keep your family safe, and keep up your motivation. Bye everyone.